Right now, there is a folder on your computer draining around $40 to $100 a month, and most of it is software you could replace for free this afternoon. The big design suite, the grammar checker, the cloud storage, the transcription service, the stock photo subscription, all of it now has a free AI-powered alternative that did not exist 2 years ago. By the end of this, you will have a short list of free AI tools that quietly do the same job as the paid software you have been afraid to cancel. Here is why this matters more in 2026 than it ever has. Most paid software is priced for the version of you that needed it 5 years ago when there was no real competition. A subscription that felt small, say $15 a month, is $180 a year. And if you stack 3 or 4 of them, you are quietly handing over the cost of a decent laptop every single year. The reason you keep paying is not loyalty, it is friction. You learned the tool, your files live inside it, and switching feels like a chore. So the question is not whether free alternatives exist. They do. The real question is which ones are good enough that you will actually use them, and where the catch is hiding. Because there is always a catch, and I will be honest about every one of them. Let me give you the rule I use before we get to the tools, because it will save you from a mistake most people make. Free almost never means free of cost. It usually means you pay with usage limits, with your data, or with an upsell waiting at the edge. So for each tool, ask 3 quick questions. What is the real limit on the free tier? What happens to your files if you stop using it? And is the catch something you can live with? Keep that filter in your head, and almost every tool I am about to mention becomes either an easy yes or an easy skip. Let us start with the most expensive habit of all: design software. If you have been paying for a full creative subscription just to crop images, make a thumbnail, or design a simple flyer, you are using a jet to cross the street. A free tool like Canva covers the vast majority of everyday design work, and it now has AI baked in that can generate images, remove backgrounds, and even rewrite text on a poster. For deeper photo editing, an open-source program called GIMP has been free for decades and handles real layered editing, while a newer wave of browser-based AI editors can erase objects or expand a photo with a single click. The honest catch here is this: professionals with very specific workflows will still want the paid suite, and Canva's free tier nudges you toward premium templates and a watermark on a few exports. But for 90% of normal people, the free path is more than enough. Now the writing tools, because this is where AI changed everything fastest. People have paid for years for a premium grammar checker that fixes commas and suggests clearer sentences. Today, a general AI assistant, the free tier of something like ChatGPT or a similar chatbot, will proofread your email, tighten your paragraph, and explain why a sentence is clunky, all for nothing. Free browser extensions can catch typos as you type. The catch, and this one is real, is privacy and accuracy. Do not paste anything sensitive, like client data or passwords, into a free chatbot, and always read what it gives you, because AI will sometimes rewrite your meaning while it polishes your grammar. Treat it as a sharp editor, not as the final word. Here is a quieter one that surprises people: transcription and note-taking. Services that turn audio into text used to charge by the minute, and they added up fast for students, journalists, and anyone in a lot of meetings. There is now a free open AI model called Whisper that transcribes audio with genuinely strong accuracy, and several free apps and websites are built right on top of it. Record a lecture, drop in the file, and you get a searchable transcript without paying per minute. The catch is mostly about convenience. The free versions can be slower, may cap the length of a single file, and the polished, fully automated ones often hide the best features behind a paid plan. But the core engine doing the work is free and available. Let us talk about the subscriptions hiding in plain sight, starting with cloud storage and Office documents. You may be paying monthly just to store files and edit a spreadsheet. Free tiers of the major cloud drives give you enough room for documents and photos for most everyday needs, and free Office suites, including the well-known browser-based ones and the open-source package called LibreOffice, open and save the same file formats you already use. For password management, instead of a paid vault, an open-source manager like Bitwarden offers a genuinely capable free tier. The catch with storage is the limit. Free space fills up, and the gentle pressure to upgrade is the entire business model. So the smart move is to use free storage for what fits and stop treating a subscription as automatic. Now, stock photos and music, the tax on anyone who makes content. You do not need an expensive media library. Free sites like Unsplash and Pexels offer high-quality photos and video you can use, and there are growing libraries of free, royalty-free music. On top of that, free AI. Image generators can now create a custom picture from a sentence, which means you are no longer limited to whatever a stock library happens to have. The catch is licensing, and you have to take it seriously. Always check the license on any image, song, or AI generation before you use it commercially, because free to download does not always mean free to sell with. Read the terms once, and you protect yourself for good. So let us name the single most common mistake, because it is the reason people overpay for years. The mistake is treating every cancellation as all or nothing. People think if the free tool is not a perfect, identical replacement, they have to keep paying full price for the premium one. That is rarely true. Most of the value sits in a handful of basic features, and the free tools cover those basics completely. The hidden trap on the other side is chasing free until you collect 10 half-finished tools and trust none of them. The goal is not to use everything free. The goal is to stop paying for power you never actually touch. Here is exactly what to do next, and it takes about 20 minutes. First, open your bank or card statement and write down every software subscription you are paying for with the monthly cost beside it. Most people are genuinely shocked by the total. Second, next to each one, name the free AI alternative from this video that could cover your real everyday use. Third, before you cancel anything, export your files out of the paid tool while you still have access, so you never lose your work. Then test the free version on one real task for a week. If it holds up, cancel with confidence. If it does not, you have lost nothing, and you keep the paid one with a clear conscience. So back to that folder draining $40 to $100 a month. You now know that design, writing, transcription, storage, and stock media each have a free AI-powered alternative that is genuinely good enough for most people. And you know the one catch hiding inside each. The money you stop wasting is not the prize. The prize is realizing you were paying for confidence, not capability, and that you can get the capability for free. If you want to take this further, the natural next step is learning how to chain a few of these free tools into one smooth workflow, so they do the boring work for you while you sleep. That is exactly where you should head next.